What is up? We're back. We're live with episode 15, Kangz Council. Getting ready to kick things off. Announcing everyone here on the panel. We got the person who's willing to kill every NPC in every game if it'll improve performance, Despair.
Yo.
And of course, we got someone that's getting ready for all the lewd games to flood his library when he joins other people's Steam family. Follow your dreams.
Really? That's for me? Okay.
And the only qualifications for this guy buying a Gunpla model is that it is dummy thick Cosmic Kaiser.
I don't know where you got that from, but sure. Let's go with that. With all the new announcements as of late. Yeehaw.
And then, of course, is me, your boy, willing to show you all of my nanite layers. Let's get this thing rolling.
Hey, yo.
Starting off with a bit of a sad note. Let's see. We have, unfortunately, we had the passing of a prominent FGC player known as BrolyLegs. Michael Begum sadly passed away at 35 years old. Not to start things off with a downer, but felt important to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Gamers of all types.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, man. I didn't personally know him. I know some people who did meet him, who had the fortunate ability to meet him, but man, he's been in the gaming scene for years. We had ESPN documentaries about him. Prominent Street Fighter tournament player, one of the best Chun-Li players in the world.
Yeah,
and he
which
only
is
played
crazy.
with his mouth, basically. He had a specialized controller.
Yeah.
He played with his mouth.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, like he's actually like legit super disabled.
Yeah.
so like I just thought this was kind of a big deal just because in terms of like there's not a lot of people who are disabled who like are dealt a bad hand. You know what I mean? And a lot of them just kind of just give up. And he chose not to do that.
Yeah, he was passionate. He was like, yeah, y'all not stopping me. That shit, that's just godlike. Yeah, that shit is dope.
And so I think a lot of people could find a lot of inspiration with him. If you don't know about him, I'd say look up some stuff. And like, it wasn't just like, oh, we're taking it easy on him just because he's, you know, disabled.
Yeah, he was godlike.
Like,
he would beat your ass.
Legit, yeah. He would legit compete at the highest league. He could beat my ass. Or he could beat like most people's, you know.
He could probably beat most people.
Obviously. Yeah. So
the crazy
like,
part is, it's like when you look at people like that, I just say, man, what's everybody else's excuse? That's what I say.
Exactly.
Like, when you got people willing to work that hard, when you basically working from the bottom, like, what's y'all excuse? Let me say, everybody always got an excuse. Like, you can't say shit to him though.
Exactly. So
yeah, rest in peace, man.
Yeah. So I don't think we know any of the details personally. But it was sudden and and I think the family was just posting any memories that you have in him, so they keep, you know, have something to come back to and read. So if you guys met him personally and have something to share, just go to his Twitter and share any memory you have with him. I'm sure his family and friends would deeply appreciate it.
For quick context regarding his condition, he was born with what's called arthrogryposis, which pretty much hinders muscle and joint growth from birth. He was not able to move any of his limbs at all, outside of obviously, you know, using his face to be able to use a controller and play video games, which is absolutely very noteworthy. The big ups to Begum's family, and much like everybody else has already said, nothing but the best, and at least we hope that he's in peace.
It's got a couple of good documentaries on YouTube about him. I'll be sure to link them in the description below. One by ESPN and one was a short actually done by Capcom before the release of Street Fighter V. Again, that just shows you like he's a very prominent player in the fighting game community. You probably played against him online. He probably whipped your ass because he was very, very talented. That being said, let's move on to our next topic here. We got Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out. We got news of NPC, the community willing to kill all NPCs to improve the game's performance. A little shaky of a launch. Mostly, I'm guessing mostly on PC, right? But I think Capcom games usually that first couple weeks on PC is kind of rough. Like Resident Evil 4, something similar. But yeah, this was kind of funny to me. I was reading it today that the community's kind of banding together to see that they noticed the cause of a lot of frame rate instability in the game was NPCs, and so they figured out that if you start killing them, you actually improve your game's performance.
Well, I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm playing the game. My karma's gonna be fucked.
It's super funny, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, if that's an option, that's kind of cool. But also, like, the way this game plays out, can't you kill, like, plot important NPCs? I mean, like, you could kill, like, plot important characters in the game, from what I understand, right? So, yeah. I'm sure there'll be a list of NPCs you could kill by the end of the week.
The thing that,
like, who you can kill, who you can't.
What that makes me think about is the fact that modders are just going to be able to remove the NPCs. So,
True.
Hopefully make the performance better, because I'm hearing this rough, and whatever we can do to fix it, I'm game. I'll kill some NPCs, whatever. Like, the game shouldn't have launched like that, but it is what it is. Like, we know how PC, but then again, I can't say PC because it's shit on console too, so.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hopefully it gets a patch. I don't know, but man, I thought Capcom was over those days.
I think they will, because it was something similar. They had like some similar performance when I think they dropped Devil May Cry Special Edition, the next gen version, right? Like for PS5.
Yeah.
They had like some issues performance wise, and they patched that. Same thing, like I said, I mentioned as far as PC ports go, RE4 remake, they patched that, like or at least had tried to work on the performance issues they had with that game, and I didn't have any issues with that on PC. I know that's like kind of like anecdotal experience that I'm saying, like I didn't have any issues, so no, I'm not saying that, but just adding the testimony that, you know, sometimes even if it launches and it's a little shaky, some people can have an alright experience, you know, depending on obviously PC so many factors.
Nobody
right?
is.
Yeah. Well, the game just dropped
like
today.
Ass everywhere.
Yeah, the game just dropped today. It's a game that everyone's a hype about. Reviews are still looking good regardless. And one of the reasons I think we're bringing it up because of the Ian McShane trailer that they posted. Anybody watch that?
That shit was dope.
Oh yeah, no, it was dope. I mean, it was just an example of Capcom kind of taking notes from like the Tekken thing. Like, I just feel like this was like a direct response. Obviously, that's a fighting game, and this is like more of a action RPG. But I do enjoy like them bringing in those kind of actors to kind of just introduce people to the universe and like, hey, what's going on? And I think it gets people who didn't play Dragon Dogma 1 more invested in 2, and then not have to feel like, oh, I don't even know what's going on, or do I need to play 1 before I play 2? You know, it just kind of answers all of those questions, so you're ready to play the game. So I'm for it. It's cool, and Ian McShane's cool. I mean, they didn't show him personally; he was just narrating, but still, nonetheless, still cool. Still cool to see.
Yeah, cool making moves to bring in more like wider audience. I guess that's the whole point of it, really. Get people that weren't interested before interested in it. They recognize a familiar face, like, oh shit, maybe this is cool, and then they'll just try it out.
Right.
Oldest time marketing scheme, but it works.
Ride the coattails of a popular celebrity that's semi-mainstream eye, right? You got Ian McShane, and most recent work, right, is John Wick. And also, it was just more of a serious tone as opposed to the one that Tekken, the one they did for Tekken, which I mean, like very, very drastic.
I mean, it's not, you can't really. There's not much Tekken story-wise you can take seriously. Let me stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there is, but let's be real. It's goofy.
It fit what they were going for, right? And I feel like this is more of the same. Like, it fit what they were going for, and it gives a good overall. It's great world building without having to, like, you can go into the game without know, like you know what you're kind of stepping foot into, right?
Yeah,
Kind of just sets out like you'll see something and you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that from that trailer. If you watch the trailer, if you wanted to partake in it.
Yeah. I just, man, it's weird because I kind of came full circle. Like I love. Obviously, I have a pretty decent PC. I like having high end shit so I can run games the best that they can possibly run, right? But after a while, I just started to. I just like if a game is good, bro. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like as long as it's playable, as long as it's not fucking horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like the games that have the shader compilation, the stutter, where you'll literally be in the middle of a fucking boss fight and the shit will just freeze. Like shit like that is like nah.
Looking at you, Margot.
Oh man, I'm looking at Star Wars fucking Jedi Survivor. That's what I'm looking
Why would you hurt my heart again?
No.
at. Yeah, that's
I mean, there's
what I'm
plenty
talking about. At
of
least
games. We
Elden
could
Ring
point
was
the finger at a
playable.
lot of games.
Like it didn't
True.
happen that often in Elden Ring.
No.
Like
It just happened to me.
Yeah.
like it happened to you a lot, but it didn't happen to me. Like it wasn't as widespread. Like everyone has problems with Jedi Survivor, right? So that's the problem with that. But from what I've seen, this game is literally what I want to play right now, right? It looks like a little mini. I don't want to say mini because that's kind of disrespectful to the game, but it looks like kind of what I liked about Elden Ring, but on a smaller scale, right? More RPG-ish than Elden Ring is kind of, but I just want to get sucked into a world and just fucking blow stuff up with meteors and lightning and bullshit. That's all I want to do. And this is exactly what I'm getting. And I'll take it.
I think.
From what I hear, the performance issues is mainly the cities versus like outside.
Yeah. I heard like it's fine when there's not much shit going on, but then like when there's huge boss battles and you get into the cities with all the NPCs and it starts bugging out. But hey, whatever, man.
Well, you see, this is why we need modders, because that potato mod is gonna drop any day now. And for those of you who can't run the game, there you go.
This is that benefit of from PC to console too, right? Like it's like going on the disperse, it's just like like games, even if they don't perform well, you could still enjoy them, right? Like, and it's like, man, it takes me back to that like ignorance is bliss kind of thing.
I wish I could go back to those days where I didn't. It's not that I didn't know.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
I didn't notice. I just didn't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, bro, I say it all the time. I played through Bloodborne, and it was my favorite game ever. And then it wasn't until later when I built my PC and I started playing shit at 60 FPS consistently. I went back and I was like, this game makes me sick. Like, I couldn't do it. Like,
I have a feeling a lot of our TikTok commenters are still in that Bloodborne bubble where it's the greatest game, and it's the greatest performing game, right?
Ignorance is bliss. Stay ignorant.
Ignorance is bliss, guys. Don't play a game at 120 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar experience going from like 360p to 1080p, on the PS3 without because you didn't know how to switch it, and then when I did, I was like, what is going on? It's almost a similar experience I'm going through right now. But
yeah, shout outs to finally playing games past 60 hertz. Shout outs to finally being able to play at 120. So now it's gonna be even worse for you to play a game that's not running at 60. Have fun.
Man.
It's gonna be gross. But look, hey, VRR, man. That's why we have VRR. Everybody needs a VRR display.
Yeah.
Lose that shit out.
Yeah. Well, eventually, whatever. I'm doing my big PC upgrade next year, so hopefully, CPUs can step it up. Because I feel like that's the one thing bottlenecking everything right now.
Well, this game in particular is CPU, but yeah.
Yeah. But in general, I've noticed a lot of titles are very...
Yeah, because fucking console CPUs are fucking shit. You gotta
Interesting.
On that garbage.
Interesting topic, because we know we were talking about the PS5 Pro leaks last week, and I think more leaks and more like kind of official announcements. I think not official announcements, but more information was revealed from I think Digital Foundry, and because they have actual specs that they were given, and I think they were given permission to release it, so it's semi-official. And of all the performance improvements across the console, one thing that remains the same is the CPU.
Yep.
Which
that shit sucks.
Bad news, yeah.
It kind of sucks, right?
Something that we didn't realize.
We'll have to see though. We'll have to see how the upscaling shit works, because that'll be fine. Because you gotta think about it. All I care about is better performance than the PS5 shit that we have. It could be minor, it could be, you know, major improvement. I don't care. I'll take what I can get. But yeah, it's not gonna be. Honestly, it's one of those things where when it comes to spec leaks, before we actually get the hardware, it's kind of hard to say, oh yeah, it's not gonna be this, it's not gonna be that, because we don't know. You don't know what the devs are gonna do to well, then again, a lot of these devs are lazy anyway. But you don't know what some of the devs are gonna do to optimize the game for like the new features that the PS5 Pro might have. Like we don't know. But if you're looking just on paper, just straight specs on paper, then yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. But hey, whatever.
They seem fairly confident. The Digital Foundry said that yeah, there definitely isn't going to be a hope that PS5 Pro is running GTA 6 at 60 FPS.
Well, somebody from Rockstar apparently came out and said that they're confident that it's going to run at 60 FPS on PS5 Pro. So I don't know.
A performance mode. I mean, they could likely have a performance mode.
Yeah, and a slightly better console will make performance modes run slightly better, which
true.
Good. It's like Final Fantasy Rebirth. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is a great example of like the slight. All it needs is like a slightly bit more, and it will be god like the performance mode. Because it's a little. My only issue with it is it's 60 FPS. It runs perfectly. It's godlike. I love it. But it's a little blurry. Like you can tell that they kind of cut the resolution a little bit, obviously to keep it steady. But there was a patch yesterday or a couple of days ago, whatever. I don't know when it was, but it was this week that improved that. I have yet to see how it looks. I'm gonna look and see if it looks better. But the PS5 Pro will probably improve that slightly, right? And I'll take that.
Little heavy-handed on the VRR, right?
Yeah. But to be fair though, VRR is literally what saves all this shit. So, obviously you have to have modern TV or modern monitors to have the shit, but hey, whatever. I just, you know what? I'll bring it up after the podcast.
You know what? you know what the thing is? It's like, even if the PC has a rough launch, there'll always be a chance for it to drop a patch and improve things later. Whereas you buy console, that's what it is usually.
Well, they can improve it on console later, because you got to think about it. They didn't even add a performance mode to console, so maybe we'll get that later.
Didn't?
Maybe when PS5 Pro comes out, maybe they'll add it. Yeah, they didn't even try. So we'll see.
They were like, nope.
Yeah, but like you can add a performance mode, bro. Like there ain't no way. But my thing was, they were probably like, yeah, we're gonna have to make this game look super ass or super muddy to add a performance mode, and they didn't want to compromise, you know, their
artistic integrity.
But I don't give a fuck.
And
like,
that's fine.
It should always have a performance
right?
mode. No, fuck that. Every game should have a performance mode. There's no excuse. Every single current gen game, should have a performance mode. If it doesn't, why? Give me a reason why it does not.
Well, I'm in the camp that it's not a good reason. I'll spoiler alert. But I'm in the camp to say that they withhold things like that for the sake of
maybe the PS5
because they know it's just not going to look good, right? Like it's going to look like Vaseline was smeared on your screen. It'll run
still be there.
Great. I know it should still be there. I don't care what it looks like because I'm in the camp where if it runs at 60 and it looks decent enough, I'm good, right? But there's a lot of people that are just gonna shit on it, and then reviewers that are gonna put in negative review scores.
They don't have to. But they don't have to. I don't think so, because you have the option. Like there's an option to play the game in the performance mode or the quality mode, whatever the fuck they call it, right?
Yeah.
So if that, I don't think that matters. I feel like, look, even if the game looks like shit, it should have a performance mode. If the game looks like shit, then if you think the game looks like shit and it's too shitty to play, put the quality mode on. That's it. Like it's that simple. Like take the hit in FPS and play in performance if you think that's better. A lot of people are doing that for Rebirth, right? And they're like, oh man, the quality mode looks so good. I'm like, okay, it does look pretty. I don't want to play the game like that. So I have the choice to not play it like that. You know what I mean? So you have to, especially because think about it this way. The PlayStation 5, no game, right? System settings, you have the option to set the preferred mode. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember because I haven't done it since I got it, but I'm pretty sure it has the option in the settings to set the preference to every game to automatically go to performance mode when you cut it on, or automatically go to quality mode when you turn it on. So if the PS5 in the system settings has that option, that means every game should have that option in the game. Like, come on.
I agree.
Because think about it. The people that know, well, I don't know, how many people do you think fuck with that setting? I'm sure. I'm probably underrating.
I feel like there's a lot of people who
underrating.
don't even know about that setting.
Yeah, I do too, but I feel like I'm kind of underestimating modern gamers. I'm sure a lot of them do because Sony kind of marketed that. Sony marketed that in the beginning, but I feel like if you have that in the system settings, people already know from the get-go what kind of experience they want from their games. Not just this game, but from their games in general. They know what they want. They either focus on quality or they focus on performance. Doesn't matter what game it is, that's what they choose. So that means they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Add the performance mode. What like has Capcom? I gotta look. I think they said something. I don't remember what they said. I'm pretty sure they said something about it, but it was like in passing. It was very like vague. But what's the reason for not having a fucking performance mode in a modern game? Hello? There's not many games nowadays. There's not many games on PS5 that I can think of that don't have that option. Even if the options are shit, they have the options. So I don't know. I think that's kind of corny on Capcom's side, especially because Capcom is, always toting RE Engine this, RE Engine scalability, this, that, and the third. I'm like, so what happened this time? I don't know, man. Not to mention, I don't even want to talk about the whole DRM shit on PC because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No, that's a whole, Well, getting a little bit off topic though, because we're talking about like settings, and it's interesting. I'm curious to see what the amount of the general gamer public, I guess, to see, because there's been, how they had that debug menu that released in by mistake in Spider-Man patch. There's a lot of people who were commenting and saying stuff like, well, all games should kind of give us maybe not a debug menu, but a little more things to tinker around with, right? It's like, because they are the tinkerers out there, right? Like, and they want to push it maybe as far as they can on the console, and
there are games on console
customize
that
their
give
own
you the
settings.
option.
Yeah,
there are games on console that give the option to change FOV, even change VSync on or off. I think it was actually Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty was I think the first one that had
AOV
FOV sliders in Cold War.
Yeah, ironic.
On PS5.
But like, what's holding? Like, why not have what is the negative to adding those options for customizability on console? What is the downside to that?
You break the game.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
How would you break the game with an FOV slider?
Not an FOV slider. I'm just talking about like if you can change like settings. I'm talking about like graphic settings.
No
debug,
person
but
needs a debug option.
Not debug, but more so like the basic graphical settings that you have on PC, where you change the resolution.
I'm not talking about deep, super great, profound graphics options like we have. I'm talking about why not have. Obviously, there was a game. I'm not sure what game it was. It might have been. What was that? What was that game? The Mikami game? Was it Shinji Mikami?
Which one?
What, the horror one?
Yeah. What was the name of that game?
The Evil Within?
No, not the horror game. The game he made after that. Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it was called. Yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm pretty sure. I think it was that game. Maybe I'm wrong, but that game had like a lot of different options on console. It was one of those games. It was one of those random games that you wouldn't expect, and it had a whole bunch of options on console to change VSync, obviously frame rate limit, performance mode, or it had like a billion different performance modes, a billion different graphics options, and whatever. And I'm like, you don't have to give me change shadow quality, change texture quality, change not FOV, LOD distance. You don't need all that, but having those simple options, what's wrong with that? There's no problem with that. That won't break the game. It'll only break the game if you put it in there wrong. If you put it in there improperly,
Maybe they don't trust themselves implementing things properly. I mean, the state in which games are released nowadays,
I don't think they don't trust themselves. I think they're lazy.
Yeah, potentially.
I think they're lazy.
I mean, we don't know.
Because there's literally no reason. When there's games that have it, there are games that have it. Yeah. So that just means that they're lazy. And they think that console players don't care enough, which is probably true. They think that console players don't care enough to tinker around with those settings, but
But
that doesn't mean that the option shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
Like,
because I think like even if you don't care, you just won't go into those menus. You won't use them.
You'll be like,
and if
I don't
you
know what
do
this does.
care,
Fuck
you're
that.
gonna have a much better tailored experience
Exactly.
because
That's
you
why I said
customize
there's
it on
no
your own.
downside to
There is
giving people
none.
more options.
Yeah.
On PC, there are people that will cut on a game and literally start the game. I don't know how you do that, but people will cut on the game, literally just start the game and play through the game without fucking with any graphics options. And I'm just like, wow, you were playing this game at 30 FPS or 20 FPS the entire time and didn't think to change the settings? Wow.
Just fucking raw dog in it.
Yeah. There are people that do that
Hey,
shit.
man.
So I'm like,
Hey
whatever.
man, I just got this PC. I've been playing on console for 20 years.
Well, the whole
Yeah.
point of buying a PC is you know you have those options, but whatever. Obviously, some people don't, but that's
Right.
interesting. But I don't know, man. Very weird decision to not have that, but
Yeah.
hey, in this day and age, we're still in that era where performance might knock off a 0.5 off a score, right? But the game is still good from what I heard. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That was like Elden Ring. Remember the whole thing about Elden Ring? Everyone was complaining about Elden Ring performance. Everybody, that was the first game where
Yeah.
everybody was like, why is this game getting 10 out of 10s when the performance, how do you say that the performance is bad and then give it 10 out of 10 in the same review? Because nobody gives a fuck. The game's
Yeah.
great. Like,
Because performance is just one aspect of a game, right? Like it's just
yeah.
graphics, performance, quality. Those are certain aspects as part of a final review score. And if the game
And
is
it's
just
also a
that
new
damn
aspect.
good,
A
yeah,
lot of people didn't give a fuck before this
of
generation.
course, yeah.
No one cared. Until Sony and Microsoft fed it to you, nobody cared. We cared because we played on PC, but console players didn't give a fuck until Sony told them to give a fuck.
Well, and also till Cyberpunk probably.
I don't even
gave
think those
them
people
more.
knew. I'm sorry. I don't even think most of those people knew what the fuck was going on. A lot of people hopped on the hate bandwagon and didn't know what the fuck was happening. So I don't even want to talk about that. Like, most of the people talking shit about Cyberpunk had no idea what the fuck was going on. They went and watched the video and heard all the bullshit and then regurgitated that shit to all their friends, social media and whatever. Because I still to this day talk to some people about Cyberpunk and they still can't tell me what the fuck was wrong with it in the beginning. I know what was wrong with it because I had it. We all played it, right?
Yeah, I played through
So
it and
we
I
know what
had a
was wrong
fine
with it.
experience though.
Like, but hell, there are so many people that haven't even touched the game. They'd be like, yeah, that's the game that was garbage, right? Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yes, it was that
Yes.
game. Yeah.
Thank you for
That
letting
you
me know what
didn't
type of
play,
game
so
you are.
Thank
off
you
the
for
bat.
giving me your informed opinion of the game that you didn't play. Yes. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, that did add to it. Don't get me wrong. That did add to the conversation of releasing games in poor states, definitely. But it wasn't the first. Because The Witcher launched kind of meh on console. And
Oh, yeah.
bro, you couldn't even play the game on an Xbox. It literally would not work. Y'all don't remember that? Like people were
Nah,
complaining
I
because
don't.
you
I
literally
don't
could
remember.
not play the game. You would start the game and it would just crash at the main menu. Boom. That's it. $60. Can't play. Like on a console, like you expect that from PC, right? Not a console.
Right.
Yep.
Damn.
But hey, I don't want to be negative about the game the entire time because I have it on right now. I'm about to play it, so I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
the game looks good. It's still getting good review scores. I think it's averaging right now 84 Metacritic. The hope is
Yeah.
just that Capcom is going to address these issues quickly, and I think they will. Even
It's only
looking
gonna
at
get better.
Cyberpunk is so much better state now. Witcher 3, when using that as an example, is one of the best RPGs of all time. So I have faith that this game is also going to be. It's
People say it's one
Capcom.
of the best
They're working
RPGs of all
really
time already.
hard. Yeah, exactly.
So,
And
yeah.
Capcom's just going to continue to optimize it and make it run better. It'll be fine.
Enter your age. Oh yeah, I'm 99.
So be sure just to check out 99. Oh man, when you check
Was
it
it
out,
Dead or Alive 2?
Look, every time a game asks me my age, I default to 99 just because of Dead or Alive
Because-
2. Yep.
Dude, Dead or Alive 2? I know. That's
Yep.
why I'm...
unbelievable.
Shout out to people who know about that.
If you know, you know. Oh shit. That's crazy.
If you're knowing, and we're looking at tech, development of tech, there was just a new tech demo shown.
Oh my
with,
god, that shit looks crazy. I watched it
Rise
before
of
I came in
Hydra,
here.
1943 Rise of Hydra. It was a tech
Yeah,
demo,
yeah.
basically showing off Unreal Engine 5 with the
was
new Marvel
crazy.
game that Amy Hennig's been working on for. They've been working on it for like 4 years now, something like that.
It definitely looks
Bro.
4 years of development. I'll
That
tell
game
you that.
looks.
It looks well far
So
along and it
look
looks
great.
crazy.
Wait, who's publishing that?
New
Good
studio,
question.
right?
It's Amy Hennig's studio. I forget what they're called. We brought it up a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Who's producing it though? EA?
No, I don't think so.
Marvel Games.
Really? Actually, let me look at this. What's it called?
Rise of Hydra.
1943.
I want to know who's producing this game.
Let me see.
Rise of Hydra. Oh, a godlike name, by the way. That's gonna I'm already interested.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely interesting. Like, remember we were teasing, like we were like, man, I hope this game is good. So far so good. So far, we'll see.
Unreal Engine 5 producers Amy Hennig, Julian Bake, but okay, so it's
Skydance Media.
New Media.
Oh, Skydance. Yeah. that's
Oh
what it is.
shit! Wow, that's dope. Okay, that's a relatively new studio. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what they did is they showed in
Is this their
real
first game?
time. I think so.
I would think so. Yes. Yeah. I think
I don't want to
so.
say that, but I think.
No, it is. Yeah, this is their first game, and they're working on an untitled Star Wars game. Wow. Okay.
That's what it was. Yeah, the Star Wars game.
Oh, I have faith. I have faith since it's not attached to a publisher we know that's gonna kill it.
Yes.
I have faith now. Yeah.
And they showed a pretty lengthy tech demo, about 15 minutes long. Also link it down in the description as well. Just showing off the use of Unreal Engine 5 technology in their game, which was completely shown. They said everything was in real time. So they showed it was basically a Black Panther and Captain America having a little tiff on the bridge. They argued. They also then removed Black Panther's mask so you could see the actor and see the facial capture and the motion capture that they have.
It looked good, yeah.
It looks fantastic. The dialogue already. I mean, it's Amy Hennig.
She's
got a
pretty good,
great
bro.
reputation.
Pretty good.
And everyone's pretty sold on it for now. I think they just want to see gameplay, and I think that's all we just need to see. It's kind of like the
Fingers
last.
crossed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's like the only thing. But they were talking about in that tech demo how, and this is where we're starting to see a lot of the developers really take advantage of Unreal 5, where they're able to cut memory but make things more layered. They're able to, like, basically things that would take up a lot of memory, now they're able to mitigate that so they can do a better quality game and not like hopefully
as long as it doesn't have shader
to,
compilation stutter, that's all I care about. Anytime I see Unreal Engine, I'm just like, oh boy.
Yeah, I know,
we'll
because a lot of those gen games, especially in the beginning of it, but hopefully this is like them like, all right, we know how to use it now, and
yeah, we'll see.
But impressive start so far, impressive environments.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm not really worried about the writing. The acting seems pretty on par. I'm a huge Captain America fan. Freak's a huge Captain America fan.
It's funny we can say that about a game like that confidently. I'm not worried about the writing. Yeah, Amy Hennig is dope. I don't care about. That's fire.
I mean,
it's not. There's not very many you can say that about.
She kind of proved her flowers, right?
Yeah,
I don't
it's just
feel
that
like
there's not very many you can say that about. Like, how many video game writers can you say that about? But that's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, out of all the things about this game, I'm not worried about the writing. I'm worried about the gameplay, but I'm not worried about the writing.
The most important part, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the gameplay.
But,
it's kind of weird, right? Like these are my reservations, and it's not so much reservations. It's something that I feel like I need to get over, and I feel like that maybe a lot of people need to get over because it could potentially hold some games on certain properties back. It's just that I've just gotten so used to Chris Evans as Captain America.
Yep.
So anyone else, it kind of takes me out of, it takes me out of the element for a minute. I'm sure I'll get used to it.
You got cursed by the Hollywood imprint.
I get over that shit quick because first of all,
he's just so good.
He doesn't want to.
I got over it because it's been so long. It's been a while.
Well, not only that, but this one, I think that's why they decided to do a 1943 game versus like, hey, let's do a present day Captain America game, because 1943 is kind of like, hey, new beginning, new universe, blah blah blah. Like, so you could kind of reintroduce these characters. Like, it's not even the same. Well, obviously, it's not the same Black Panther because it's 1943. So
it's his it's T'Challa's grandfather.
Right. So just because with all those elements in there, like, I can like, I didn't go there personally where it's like, oh, where's Chris Evans? And,
I think people take it negative too quickly.
Yeah, I forgot.
And eventually, bro, there are plenty of people who could play Captain America. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Evans had his run, and now it's gonna be time for someone else when that happens eventually. Where the fuck Marvel's doing? I don't know.
I don't even think. I know. I love the movies. Everyone in here loves the movies, but let's be real. It's that Marvel like influence. I mean, the Marvel said that MCU influence. It's kind of over now, bro. Especially because you know they've been kind of hauled off to the wayside a little bit. I don't want to say in terms of quality, but they definitely not in terms of relevance. It's definitely not that serious right now.
Yeah,
they might come back eventually, but right now I feel like it's not in the public. People don't care. Like people are gonna. To be fair, I felt it. I felt it. Like when I watched it, I felt something, but I didn't know what it was. But then you just brought it up, and I was like, yeah, that's what it was. It was a little. I felt a little weird about it, and then I was like, whatever. Okay, who cares? It's just another Captain America. Because then you realize, right? You read the comics and it's like, oh, this is a different Spider-Man. It looks different. Oh shit. Okay, cool. You play Spider-Man games, every Spider-Man looks different, right? Like you play, I don't know. Maybe because I care more about the games than I care about the movies, I guess. So the games impact like kind of made the movies feel a little weird to me. Because I grew up playing, like, bro, I played like every Spider-Man game. Sorry. Like, unfortunately, I played like every Spider-Man game because a lot of them are ass. So unfortunately, I suffered through those. But
shout out to Spider-Man PS1 though.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, shout out to Spider-Man PS1, shout out to Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man Web of Shadows, I think that's the one it was.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man, Shattered Dimension. That's what it was. Yeah, Shattered Dimension. That's the one. Yeah. I mean, shit. But
I mean, for me, For me, I care about the character more.
But so I understand
like, who's playing it. But you know, I'm also an actor, so like, yeah.
Listen, me and Freak gonna be playing that game with the fucking Winter Soldier OST in the background.
Wait, you're not gonna even include me in that? You know, I was rocking the Winter Soldier while I was playing the Avengers, bro.
All right, my bad, man. I'm sorry.
I actually might have to take it to the first Avenger, Alan Silvestri score. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let's go.
True. That shit was fire. Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to. I know because I know that's gonna affect people in a negative way. For me, like I said, it's something that I acknowledge that I have to get over because I don't want it to keep me from enjoying it. Yeah, it's just a little weird,
back of your
right?
head,
like for me, it's just like
no, it's a you thing. I get it.
And I think I could get over it because I kind of got over it with that Avengers game, and
that was even worse because
that was even worse because it was the whole crew.
Yeah, that was right in the midst of everything of Marvel at the top of his game too. Wasn't that when the Endgame game had just come out or something like that?
Yeah. Like, so for that one, that was more of a glaring thing because it was clearly they were trying to do MCU, so then why not just bring in the MCU?
They came out like 3 months after Endgame, didn't it?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah. They had to do that.
So in that case, in that case, there's the disconnect there, right? Because they clearly were making their thing MCU-ish, right? Yeah. Whereas this is just kind of going into its own direction, and so I don't associate. I feel like they're two very different cases. So for me, I'm fine with it. But hopefully you get over it, Freak, and
I'll get over it because if the game is godlike, we all will.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, as of right now, good fucking start. But obviously gameplay, right? I hold my tongue for that because I gotta be fair. Right? I have to be like, well, where's the gameplay? Because like if anything that just shows like a story trail, I'm like, okay,
I mean, it's 2024. Like, we can't be like, oh, it looks great with no gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
And the gameplay.
Even if they showed a clip of him throwing the shield at someone, bro, I would have been like, oh,
Because you know what the problem is when you do this, instead of showing gameplay first, our expectations are going to be so high, and then when the gameplay isn't what we want it to be or expect it to be, it's going to be like, okay, whatever. Like, it looks all right. Like, so we'll see.
I'm actually excited to see what they cook up with gameplay because I think it's gonna be. I don't know if anybody remembers this game. I didn't play it. I just remember watching videos of it. The Saboteur.
Yeah. Wow.
I never played it. I
played that shit. What, on 360? I played that.
Yeah, I think it was a 360 game back in the day. So like that's what I think of when I think of this environment. It's 1943. Like kind of going back and doing a little bit of espionage, especially like Black Panther missions. Potentially could be a little bit of mix of stealth, a little bit of action.
Man.
It's gonna be cool. I like fire. I thought that the pair of them, I was like, but you know what? The more I think about it, the more I want it. I don't know. So I'm ready.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take whatever they can give me as long as it's good. Let's think about it this way. when I first saw Midnight Suns, I was hyped, but I wasn't like sold. But then I saw Follow playing it, and then I played it, and I was like, this game is phenomenal. So all they need to do is just make the game fucking good. It doesn't have to be the best game on the planet. Just please be good. Like,
right.
Because it's not really okay, it is a license. It is a licensed game.
It is.
But it's not a licensed game in the vein of like, the licensed games we usually get where a movie comes out, then the game comes out for the movie. Like, and they're always garbage, right? So hopefully we're in an era where a lot of these licensed games are not crap, because Spider-Man, I can't say Spider-Man. Batman was the first game to do it. Okay, it wasn't the first game to do it, but it was the game that made licensed superhero games, be more thought out. I guess I would say, because after that, Spider-Man came out, right? Amazing. They're working on Wolverine. Hopefully, it's amazing. Who's doing it? Who's doing fucking Blade or whatever? I forgot.
It's a French studio, right?
The developer of Dishonored.
Dishonored, right?
Dishonored,
Yeah. I forgot what their name is. I forgot. But either way,
Arcane Studios.
Yeah, either way, we're in an era where hopefully a lot of these licensed games get, the love that they actually freaking deserve. Because I know people like the Avengers, I get it, but I personally thought that game was soulless. Like, yeah, I really did. That's why I wasn't really interested in it. Like, I'm sure the gameplay loop was fun and all that, but the game to me, it just didn't have that draw. Like, it felt really soulless to me. Like, they're making this game because the Avengers is hot right now. Like, that's it. This game coming out, when there's I'm sure there's obviously Avengers or Captain America or some movie coming out soon, but we don't see it. For us, it's nowhere in sight, right? So this game has like nothing attached to it. So hopefully that means that it'll be fucking good.
Yep.
Because I think that's what made the Spider-Man game, the Spider-Man PS4, I think that's what made that good. It had nothing attached to it. You know what I mean? They were able to do what they wanted without having to worry about, okay, let's try to get these sales of these from the moviegoers or whatever the fuck.
And look what they have now. They have a whole game universe that they can use and abuse and add on to, right? And it all started
if Sony
from
would
Spider-Man.
stop abusing Insomniac.
Abusing and canceling.
And firing and abusing. Yeah.
Well,
we'll see.
I think we're just all waiting for that gameplay. We're excited and eagerly waiting for it. And something that we did see gameplay of. Sparking Zero gameplay. We got 13 minutes of Sparking Zero gameplay. Actually, did not even pull it up. Hold up.
It's funny. I don't really have much to say about it because it looks like the game I played 15 years ago, and that's not a bad thing. That's great.
But better and crisp,
yeah, exactly.
and smooth.
Yeah, it just looks like a better version of the game I played 15 years ago, and I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Yeah, and it's coming out the right time because our boy, our icon passed away.
Unfortunately, the right time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the sense of like, look, everyone was gonna buy this game whether you admitted to yourself or not. Yeah. But now that he passed,
now I have a reason to. I'm obligated to buy this game now.
Yes, this is gonna break records, 100%. I'm not even like, I'll say this right now. This game will break the Dragon Ball game record. I think so.
I believe so.
Because
I'm obligated to buy this shit now. Like, I have to.
Just because everyone's gonna feel sentimental.
Yeah,
I can't tell you throughout the whole week or whatever since he passed, how many creators put stuff worshiping him, made personal videos of how much he influenced them, like everywhere from all aspects of the world, just kind of putting their own 2 cents about.
I've been binging Dragon Ball
how much he
from
meant.
episode 1.
We've all been binging Dragon Ball.
You know how hard it is to get me to sit down and watch a whole shit right now. And I've been watching that, and it's like, damn, it feels so different watching that shit now. It's like, man, respect. This motherfucker was a genius. But he changed my life, man. Like, that shit's crazy, dude.
Exactly. So, I mean, and the gameplay looks pretty smooth. Obviously, hopefully they get rid of some of the jank.
It's going to be jank. But that's what we expect.
I know.
At this point, that's what we expect.
It's what we expect. It doesn't matter what the game is. It's basically
it's going to be
Dragon
fun.
Ball.
That's all that matters.
If I can shoot key blasts, if I can transform, if I can knock someone through mountains, I'm good.
It's going to be fun. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
They showed a lot to please old fans of the Tenkaichi series. They were just like, "Hey, Bro, it's like they heard a lot of your questions." Yeah, it was like we got all your questions, and hopefully this 13 minute gameplay showcase will answer all the questions you have regarding like what it's gonna have from the old series. And yeah, and then they dropped a bunch of characters on us. And what else did they do?
Yeah, they dropped a lot.
They dropped a lot of characters. There's a
supposed to
lot
be
of
like
new
a
characters.
billion characters in
They
this
focused
game,
on a lot of new characters from Super as well. I mean,
Which
haven't
is
been
cool.
into any of the
they
old
better
games.
show all this shit because they're gonna announce all the 80 billion Gokus they got in the game.
Yeah.
So they better get these out the way first before,
I mean,
before
they
they make
already
people mad.
I mean, they already got through half the Gokus, so.
Yeah, they showed it. Yeah, they showed the picture of all the Gokus, all the Vegetas, all the Gohas, or whatever the fuck. Like, crazy. But who cares?
And
We
by the
expect
way,
that from Dragon Ball Z
I
now.
love how smooth the game looks, though. And then, like,
Yeah.
the hair, fluid. I like the fluidity of the shit. It's really crisp. It looks very sharp. It looks very responsive.
Did y'all see the video, the clip of how I think Vegeta hit Goku with like a crazy ass, like a big bang attack or some shit like that, and it left like a bunch of smoke on the screen.
Yeah.
And then he shot the key blast, and the key blast like moved, like it like pushed the smoke out the way. So that shit looked crazy. That was like some real anime shit. Like,
yeah, and it had a real
man.
anime heavy filter on it too. I remember
Yeah,
because
that
it
shit
pulled
looked
me out when
godlike.
I was watching it. It pulled my attention to it. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. And I'm definitely getting this on PC. I don't care how it runs. And I'll tell you why. Because those DBZ modders are
Listen, Xenoverse mods, however you feel about Xenoverse, but those Xenoverse mods were insane. Like,
yeah, so I can't imagine what they're gonna do. It's gonna be crazy. So, like, normally, like, I never talk about DBZ with my friends or whatever, but like I'm always buying all the games or whatever. Like we don't like, it's just, yes, I enjoy it. So
yeah, because Dragon Ball Z just exists, and we all know it exists, right?
Mhm.
It is one of those things you don't even have to talk about. You just know, like, oh, Dragon Ball Z game is out. I may or may not buy it, right? But it doesn't matter. It's like Dragon Ball Z to me is like on the same level as Pokemon, right? Everybody's gonna buy the shit. You might buy it. I might buy it. I might not buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just exists in society as like it's like everyday life. Dragon Ball Z is such a part of culture, just everyday life. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, we gonna buy it. We either gonna watch it, we gonna buy it, or we gonna fucking talk about it. Like, that's just how it is. Like, Dragon Ball Z transcended anime and transcended everything. It's just culture.
It's funny because it just reminds me of a meme that I just saw today where it was like Pokemon gamers complaining of how unoriginal the story is for Pokemon game, and it was like DBZ fans getting ready to fight Raditz for the 875th time, and they were all chilling.
Like, we all just accept what it is. It's Dragon Ball.
Yep.
We either gonna buy the next game or we not, but we definitely gonna buy one eventually. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We're definitely gonna buy this one for sure. Because
yeah.
Just because of all the other factors involved.
Because y'all know me, I'm
the
biggest. Like, I'm not a hater of Dragon Ball, but the thought process surrounding it kind of annoys me sometimes. Because some people, that's literally all they know and that's all they talk about, which is fine. That's great. But
like, explore your
It's
interests, right?
it's not the only anime in existence, but that's not part of the conversation. Like, the thing is, right? The homie just passed, bro.
So we're giving the man.
And I always said, I'm not gonna disrespect Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball is my childhood. Dragon Ball kind of shaped my life, and you gotta respect the big homie. Like, I brought it up last time. That's like FF7, right? FF7 ain't my favorite FF, but I gotta respect the big homie because if it wasn't for that game, I would have my favorite ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, bro. Exactly. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, what the fuck would anime be right now? Straight up.
I don't know.
We'd have no Naruto. We'd have no Bleach. Like, come on, bro.
No One Piece.
But I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure Otis said some shit about that, right?
Yeah. He was definitely, he did. He definitely did. But we'd have it. I mean, it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be at the scale of what, Dragon Ball and what One Piece is now. I don't think it would be. Dragon Ball Z just catapulted everything. Like, what's that? My favorite phrase, the rising tide raises all ships, bro. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z just brought everything else up with it. So,
yeah.
Respect, man.
Yeah, respect.
Hope I'm gonna body all y'all motherfuckers when this shit come out.
Yo, let's go, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll take your ass on.
Gonna be a fun game to play. But as Despair mentioned,
I hope they have team battles on. That would be sick.
I hope they add oolong.
Like they put team battles. Yeah. Like 2-on-2 or some bullshit.
Yeah, well,
Oolong.
I mean,
that was the most
they're
random
putting
character I could think
oolong.
of.
I don't think they would
may as well put
oolong
Poir
in
in
that.
there too.
They
Shit.
don't put no oolong, bro.
can I get can I get a Poir?
Yeah, I would want that. That'd be dope. What the
Poir
fuck?
up in there.
Dude, probably be hella cheap. You can't hit them.
Hell yeah, hella tiny.
He's mad
That'd be
small.
gone,
Yeah.
That would
definitely-
be the random
But-
button because you
Yo,
can
can I get
transform to any of
Bulma
the
and Chi-Chi?
characters.
Come on, bro.
But
Listen.
they're in a good start. They put in Roshi. So
Yeah,
who
Master
knows?
Roshi. I was hella hyped when I saw him. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I know who I'm using.
That's all
Nah, I'm
meaningless
playing
until
Hercule.
they put my boy
but
Kui in there.
Nah, I'm gonna just use Hercule.
Put Spopovich again.
That's
Kui, bro.
Spopovich.
They
my
put
kid.
Spopovich in the previous game.
They did. They
him,
did.
bro.
Tenkaichi 3 had a lot of the garbage characters.
Yeah,
Tenkaichi
fucking,
Tenkaichi 3
was
fucking
just- Tenkaichi 3
Namu
was like
from
the
Dragon
all-star
Ball.
game.
Fucking Apul. Come on.
They had
No
Kui.
one
They
gives
had
a
that.
fuck
They had
about
that.
Apul.
That's not the point. Doesn't matter if they're garbage or not. They will be in there because they're important to the overall story. There have been
Yeah,
so many garbage
these
characters
games
in the
never
Tenkaichi
care.
games.
These games
Yeah, like
never
Janemba.
care about who you think is important.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They're adding everybody. Like,
I know being sarcastic, you son of a bitch.
yeah, they had everything. Didn't Tenkaichi 3
All
have
right.
Chi-Chi in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
I
pretty
think-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tenkaichi 3 had the fucking long purple head
Had everyone.
motherfucker.
Did it have the
Oh,
farmer with shotgun?
They,
Did it
they
have
had.
the
I don't know if it had Farmer with Shot. I think so. I want to say it did.
I don't think so.
It also. They also had the fucking dude with the mustache and the Frieza armor that's dancing with Captain Ginyu. They had that motherfucker in the game
I
too.
forgot about that dude.
They had so many
Yeah.
characters
Yeah,
in
yeah, that
Tenkaichi
was
3.
an
They had
all-star
so
game.
many garbage characters. Yeah. Of course, you're not picking them
Fucking-
if you're trying to actually
Fucking
win.
Bobbity was a character in there.
Bob,
What the fuck? Yeah, that was retarded.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
In 3, yeah,
Yeah,
Bobbity,
Tenkaichi 3 literally had everybody, bro.
Dr.
Like-
Wheelo, fucking General Blue from Dragon Ball and the Red Ribbon Army.
It sucked
I'm
because that game
telling
was
you,
trash.
there
I'm
will-
sorry.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like,
All right, but look, if they're
Guaranteed
gonna
there will
release
be
a pool
everybody
DLC, will you buy it?
Everybody in there.
Would you buy it?
I wouldn't
We'll have
buy
to
it, but
see.
he'd have to be bundled with somebody else I care about.
Mhm.
We'll have to see.
Uh,
Depends on what they do.
I think there's gonna be a lot of DLC with this game.
I feel like
Every
there's gonna
Dragon
be a
Ball
good
game has
sized amount
tons
of
of
characters,
DLC.
right?
Yeah.
Because from that
These
screen,
days,
that
yeah,
end
for sure.
screen,
Yeah, that
they
shit was
kind of
wild.
showed how
end
many
screen was-
characters that. They're
Yeah,
gonna
but to be
have,
fair,
so-
the majority of those slots were Goku.
yeah, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan's for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know why they even showed that.
They're gonna have DLC movie packs and all that, and
You know it.
all kinds of stuff, man. It's just so interesting, right? Like they got tons of characters, tons.
You know
of
what I
things
do
that
miss
people
though?
wanna see.
You remember the old Budokai games where you could equip the capsules, and you'd have like the
Oh,
random ass
yes.
capsules, like
Oh, yeah,
Frieza's
yeah.
spaceship or some random shit.
Those are the base
the
Budokai
Majin
games, right?
or the
Yeah,
Majin shit
yeah.
for Vegeta. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. That shit was dope. And remember, if you
Or
did the
Potara
fusion,
earrings.
if you did the fusion wrong with Gotenks, you get the fat.
Yeah, you
Gotenks,
get
and
fat
would
or
just
skinny
be-
or
yeah,
the crackhead.
Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah, that was so
Mhm.
dope.
Yeah.
Like I hope he gets shit like that again. Because that's the one thing a lot of the Dragon Ball Z games get well is they're super silly and they get like all the little random fan service things. They get all that shit right. Xenoverse, like I know a lot of people didn't really like Xenoverse, but Xenoverse did a lot of that. Like,
I
really
enjoyed
well.
it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I
I
had
didn't
the
enjoy
first
the
universe. I liked
competitive.
it.
I was more like
Yeah,
cooperative.
you can't.
Like,
You
I like-
cannot play any of these games competitively.
Nah,
I think the only games you could play competitively were the first two Budokai games, and then obviously Dragon Ball Fighters. But other than that, all these other games you cannot. Nah, ain't no way.
Yeah.
Those Rush Supers were way too strong. That shit was retarded.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
But,
Recognition
looking forward
for
to
a
it.
great like Toriyama to recognition to another great in the industry. We have legendary composer Yoko Shimomura. Well, firstly, she confirmed that she's working on the OST for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, that's a
Secondly,
given. The worst kept
she
secret.
just
ever. Duh.
received a Lifetime Achievement Award last night for all of her
Yeah, I watched it.
tremendous
Yeah.
Yeah,
work.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
I watched it. She was so it was hella cute. She was hella happy. She got hella nervous. She didn't know what to say. That shit was so I love this woman. You don't understand.
Yeah. So for those people who are kind of uncultured, you want to educate who this woman is for those people who know her but may not know her.
First of all, if you don't know who this woman is, you're an idiot. Okay, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not an idiot. But the funny part is,
And you might be.
Everyone probably does know who she is, just doesn't know the actual person
That's
behind
her.
it. Like,
Definitely,
So,
if you don't know her, you definitely know a
her
piece of
work.
music that she has
you
composed.
definitely heard it. Now, I'm gonna be more recent because if I bring up Street Fighter 2, that's hella old, but it's hella iconic. Everybody knows.
It's super iconic.
Everybody knows the Street Fighter 2 jingles and the themes, right? But for a more modern game, everybody has heard Dearly Beloved before. Whether you know what that song is or not, you've heard the song before. In passing, in like a random video somewhere, you've heard it. And that shit changed my life. She's the reason why Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of all time. I don't give a fuck how bad or good it is. I don't care what anybody says about it. It's the best game of all time. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, one of my favorite games of all time. One of her best works, in my opinion. There is nothing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give her flowers real quick. I'm not the biggest advocate for FF15, but I'm gonna tell you this: she carried that game.
That OST
That music,
is amazing.
carried that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually, you know what? I'll take it all the way back. What was the first Mario RPG? I'm pretty sure was the first game, right? That she did the music for. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
She wasn't credited in that, yeah, for sure. She was part of it.
But my thing is, she just worked her way up and up and up and up and up at a time where I'm pretty sure it was kind of rough, right? For women in Japan to, get to where they are.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
In a lot of documentaries, it's just her. It's just her surrounded by all, not we're making like a male versus female thing, but in a new field, which was video games at the time, like that was super rare for her to just compete against all these other musicians. And so for her to do that and rise above and like, I mean, look.
You know what the funny part is? If you can just literally Google her name and just go through her discography. And just scroll all the way the fuck down and see how much shit she's done.
Well,
she's probably done shit that she didn't even know.
Let's read off some achievements.
I'm running it down. Okay, so we'll start with 1989. Final Fight, Codename Viper, Gargoyle's Quest, Adventures in Magic Kingdom, Japanese game Nemo, Street Fighter 2, obviously,
of course, yeah.
The King of Dragons, Block, Varth, Operation Thunderstorm, Breath of Fire,
of course,
the Punisher arcade game, Live Alive, Front Mission, Super Mario RPG.
Listen, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. If there's one thing, I don't know if y'all played those games. I love those games.
I love those games.
And the music in those games, I'm like, damn, this shit don't even fit these games. But she went off. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
Parasite Eve, Legend of Mana,
oh my
Kingdom
God,
Hearts.
Parasite.
Yeah. Obviously, Superstar Saga, the sequels, Kingdom Hearts, the sequels, the Mana series. She always does that. Monster Kingdom, Luminous Arc 2, Xenoblade Chronicles, Kingdom Hearts, Radiant Historia. Oh my God, man. But basically all of those, man.
A lot of
Final Fantasy 15.
They said she can compose over 150 tracks for Kingdom Hearts alone.
Oh my God, she did Streets of Rage 4 too. Damn, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she did a few songs. She did a few arrangements of things.
She did
for other games.
She did Shiva.
Fucking Smash Brothers Ultimate, she contributed a whole bunch of arrangements for classic songs in there.
Street Fighter,
a lot of those with like
Street Fighter works are in the game. Street Fighter, Kingdom Hearts,
Xenoblade,
like everything.
Xenoblade.
Yeah,
Of course. Worked on the latest iteration of Mario RPG. So her work, her hands are in a lot of works.
The crazy thing is, right? It's just, oh man, like I'm looking at like a top 5 list of her best works.
She did Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah. Super Mario RPG, Front Mission, Legend of Mana, Parasite Eve, Final Fantasy 15, and Kingdom Hearts are top 2. And don't get me wrong, I love all her works, but those 2 games are like peak, right? Like you can just tell, seeing somebody evolve over the years is one of the like coolest things to watch, especially because I have a special attachment because I grew up playing the cello, right? I'm very heavily into stringed instruments, and that's what she does best. That is literally like that. If you hear, when you hear the strings, you're like, okay, this is probably Yoko. This is probably her. It's probably her work. When Kingdom Hearts boots up, like you can, like there was one Kingdom Hearts game I think that she didn't do the majority of the work on, and you instantly could tell the difference, and you instantly missed her shit. You were like, fuck, this don't feel right, bro. Like, where's the shit? Like, oh my god, dude. She has.
Would you say that the moment you hear some strings playing, you're like, this gal's playing strings?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like she heavily influenced my entire childhood. I literally was super passionate about the cello because of her music. Like I learned how to play a lot of the Kingdom Hearts music, like a lot of the shit that she's done. I've learned how to play. Like, it's heavily inspired by her shit. It's actually ridiculous how much because when I was a kid, like I told y'all the story yesterday, obviously off the stream, whatever, but I would literally read game manuals while I'm taking a crap, right? I would read the game manuals on the toilet seat and be like, damn, I wonder who did this. I wonder who voiced this character. I wonder, yeah, I'd be like, I wonder who voiced this character. I wonder who composed this shit. At a young age, I was like fucking 12, 11, I think. I was like, damn, I wonder who did this. And then I saw her name, and whenever I would see her name again, I'd be like, oh my God, I love her. Because you know, you get attached to certain things. Like you get attached to certain directors, certain like developers, certain composers, and then when you keep hearing their work, you get attached to it. So then every time you hear, you see that they're working on it, you're like, oh, she's working on it. It has to be good. You know what I'm saying?
And there's a trust there, right?
Exactly.
Like
she has not let me down ever. Like,
you put a name to the feeling that you get from those songs, and you know you can trust that person in giving you that exact same feeling almost each and every time.
Or at least she tried her hardest to make whatever moment, you know.
Well, right, yeah, almost.
She's the best. She's the best. Like there's no one coming close. Like there's no video game composer. Obviously, Uematsu is up there, but for me personally, ain't nobody beating her, man. Like, probably because I'm biased because, like I said, I love strings, and she's like the queen of fucking strings, bro.
Strings.
That's it. Strings. Like piano and strings. That's piano is strings. So yeah, hello.
Well,
like
strings. Piano's percussion, but that's
piano is fucking strings. I don't give a fuck.
It's percussion, mother lover.
Piano is strings.
I play that shit.
I will always consider piano strings. I don't care. Oh, you play it? All right.
Yeah,
put it up right now. Let me
play
see.
Piano and violin.
Ain't no use to get the fuck out of here.
Semantics.
Yeah, exactly. I will always consider piano strings.
Piano is percussion on strings. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Ask the original. That's the professionals that know about this shit. But anyway, moving on.
Excuse me.
I know what I said.
I play both.
I played that too.
No, you said played. All right.
Yes.
I said played.
As in I have experience.
Yeah, you experienced this. No, we're gonna have a talk later.
That we will.
But yeah, she's the best. And I what I want to do, I feel like a lot of y'all are, I'm not gonna say uncultured. I'm not gonna say uncultured because that sounds like that's a negative connotation, right? But I'm gonna say a lot of y'all don't know, because a lot of people give Kingdom Hearts shit, and I don't even care about the game right now. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the quality of the game. If you haven't heard the music, you're crazy. Like, if you haven't heard the Kingdom Hearts music, you're crazy. If you haven't heard the FF15 music, you're crazy. Like, I don't even care if you ever play those games in your life. There are musical artists that I follow, that I've been following for a while, that sample a lot of her shit, and people don't even know it until the artist will come out and say it, like, which is crazy to me. A lot of my favorite fucking like J. Cole sampled a lot of her shit, which is wild, right? Like, y'all, people don't think about shit like this. There was somebody else. I forgot what the dude's name was.
I heard it in a couple of songs. Yeah.
Darkness of the Unknown is one of her most iconic shits, and that's been sampled a lot in a lot of music. People just don't know because they don't know the song. So I highly recommend y'all at least listen to her music, please. It's a lot of shit. You will not be disappointed. Like, I almost want to have like a listening party just for her shit. Cause man, I'll go down a rabbit hole all night, man. All right, anyway, I gotta stop talking about it because now I'm gonna want to play Kingdom Hearts and I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2, so I can't do that.
Just goes to show the power of music in video games and what it does for those games, for those moments, for those point
for
in
the
your
people that
life.
can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, it felt so, I felt validated You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all know me, I don't really give a fuck about validation most of the time, but I felt super validated when she came up on the stage and she was like she was hella nervous and she accepted the award. I was like, yes.
Oh yeah,
Well
she
deserved,
absolutely
bro.
deserves it. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, dude. They hold a concert, Kingdom Hearts, for like Kingdom Hearts shit almost every year. Final Fantasy shit, obviously, but it's gonna be wild when Kingdom Hearts 4 drops. Because everyone's gonna be waiting for the music. A lot of people not even gonna give a fuck about the game at first. We're just gonna wait for the music. Like what? That's gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah.
When this is over, Freak,
up.
I need you to put up the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Just don't even look at the trailer. Just listen to the music. Like,
just hear it.
yeah, I'm dead ass. I'm not even joking. Like,
no,
her shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, she, you know, what was that? It wasn't her, but I think it's a good point to end this on. You were saying that someone was saying like, that like people are kind of turning away from video game music and video games, and that
Nobuo Uematsu said it.
Yeah. But I feel like this is like fitting.
Yeah, this is like a slap in the face to everybody that's like, yeah, man, I love these fucking orchestral fucking longer range fucking OSTs and soundtracks and scores in games, and I'm like, they're great, they're epic, they're nice to listen to in the moment, right? But they're not memorable to me. Like, I don't remember a single song from God of War outside of the original God of War theme, right? Which is very melodic. It has a very catchy melody to it. That's why we all recognize it. That's why when they do play that theme scarcely in the new God of War games, you instantly hear it and you're like, oh shit, right? Like, so games kind of went away from having that kind of music to having these more orchestral movie-like soundtracks. And when it works, it's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. That's not what really gets me into video game music. And Japanese composers really get it, I feel like, when it comes to video game music. Obviously, anime music, duh. But I feel like they understand how to catch like emotion for specific scenes in every piece of work that they do. An epic fucking soundtrack is cool, but it doesn't make me feel anything. It feels kind of soulless to me. It's like you just do it just to make it, the whole purpose is to just make it sound epic, right? That's the only purpose. Not to invoke any type of emotion or anything out of people. It's just make it sound as epic as possible. That's it. Like, and that's not why I like music.
And whereas before, like if you hear a theme from a certain video game, you know exactly what that moment is. You know why it's played. Like, you know the significance. You go back and you play because it takes you back.
Do you know what the most iconic moment to me of all time is? And this is obviously going to age. It's going to age all of us. I don't care. But the most iconic song to me is when you walk into the Temple of Time in Ocarina of Time and you hear that shit, and then you go pick up the fucking master, you take the Master Sword out of the fucking thing, and then the music starts playing, and you turn into an adult, and you're like, oh shit. Like, I'll never forget that. Every time I hear that song, that scene instantly pops into my head. Like, I don't know what kind of memory that's called. There's a specific term for it, but that's what music does for me. Music takes me
senses. Something.
I'm not sure, but that's what music does for me. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but if I hear a song that I heard when I was in like high school, I'll instantly remember the time and place where I would listen to that song most of the time, right? Listening to certain songs take me back to the specific moment where I was listening to it. Like, that's just what they do for me, which is why, you know, that's kind of why I appreciate game music more than I guess the majority of people, because it just reminds me of specific moments. There aren't many video game soundtracks that remind me of bad moments in my life. It's usually good shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, I have those songs that remind me of like, oh shit, I was going through a breakup or some shit like that at the moment. Obviously, everybody has those, right? But
yeah, right.
Most of the time, I'm thinking about shit, and it's a lot of positive memories that a lot of the music gives for me, especially Kingdom Hearts, obviously. But I don't know, man. Music is a huge part of my life. It always has been. And it's always going to be. So whenever composers get respect like that, I always love that. So shout outs to her, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
I had a weird crush on her when I was a kid. I don't give a fuck, bro.
I mean,
like,
she was cute.
she old now. No, I'm gonna say she old. She's not old, but
Yeah, I mean, she old.
but
older.
she get up there and it's like, oh man, whatever.
Yeah.
I love her.
I mean, she still look
One
healthy.
day I'll meet her.
You know what I mean? That's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Hopefully I get to meet her one day. I just want her. There are some people who I just want to sit in a room with and just understand the creative process.
Just observe and just
Yeah.
Just be,
I want to understand like her creative
be in
process.
the aura and be in the I understand that.
Because you gotta kind of think about the mindset, right, and the atmosphere you have to put yourself into to compose music, especially like the amount of music she's done, right? Because she's so consistent. Has she done anything bad? She hasn't done anything bad. I know a lot of composers that have had a lot of misses. I can't think of, and I've heard like a lot of her shit, the majority of her shit. I have an entire YouTube playlist of all her shit, and it's like she don't miss, bro. So I need to understand how she works. I'll meet her one day. Hopefully. Like, just like I need to meet Yoshi P one day. Maybe I'll go to the next fan fest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to understand. All right. Anyway, going off on the fucking.
Anyway, I'm gonna cut him off because
I told you we're gonna have to. I told you good luck trying to cut me off talking about her, bro.
All good. It's important for anybody listening now to understand that, you know, if there's any kind of piece of music that you have any kind of remote interest in or something that pulls up, don't be afraid to listen to it, to expand your horizons and listen to it, because that's how you get into this. When you listen to video games, look up a song that you heard and you're like, oh man, that was a pretty cool song. Look into it. You'll learn, you'll develop, you'll look into the same artist, the composer. You'll look into their discography and you'll start to see some of the things that they did. Oh, they did that. Oh, they did that. I really like that. I used to love that. And it just takes you down a rabbit hole and it opens up this whole new horizon for you. I'm always down for a good listen, just like I hope you guys are down for a good listen for this podcast. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, make sure you check us out, keep listening every week, keep commenting, check us out on TikTok, iTunes, Spotify, all of the above, and make sure you hang out with us, because you just never know what you're going to hear here and what we're going to talk about. But make sure you hang out and we'll check you guys out next week.
All I'm gonna say is, bro,